Hi guys, today we are gonna do a good old YouTube makeup tag. I saw this video on Glitter Follow's channel, so I'm gonna link her video down in the description box. But this is the makeup first tag. And when I watched her video, I was like, there's so many interesting things in there that I would love to answer, and I really wanted to join in. And I felt like this would be the perfect way to kind of tell you guys a little bit more about myself in case you haven't been here very long, which I don't think a lot of you have. So, yeah, let's get started. All right. And the first question in this tag is, what first made you interested in makeup? And I think a lot of you guys will be surprised to know this, but my mother was born with a cleft lip, cleft nose, and cleft palate, which means that she was born with an opening in her lip, nose, and palate. And she had a lot of surgical repairs as a child, and therefore she has scarring on her face and on her nose um because of this. And she was always kind of very adamant that she could not leave the house without wearing her makeup first. And I just always remember my mom just always getting ready in the morning, getting ready for work or getting ready for the day, putting on her makeup, and us going to the department stores, because back then my mom didn't really go to Sephora. She went to Macy's, and going to the makeup counter and sitting there with her and waiting while she was talking to the consultants and getting advice about what kind of foundations that she could wear or concealers. And because the skin on her face is so sensitive, she had to be really particular about the products that she was using. And just observing my mother and her process that for her was her everyday life, like really made me interested in makeup. And also most little girls, when you see your mother putting on makeup and transforming into a more confident person, you're like, I want that. I want to feel bolder. Um, and if makeup does that for you, then I want to wear makeup. So definitely as a child, watching my mom get ready for the day played a big role in why I love makeup so much, because I do think it's a really powerful thing to give a person confidence to go out in the world and be successful and to meet people. And my mom is beautiful, and I felt like she didn't really need the makeup, but seeing her confidence grow when, she transformed, really made an impact on me. So the second question is, what is the first makeup you remember ever applying? And personally, I think the first makeup I applied was probably this memory I have about a Halloween. So when I was a kid, probably fifth or sixth grade, we had this community center in I don't know what to call it, apartment complex. I don't know. It's ghetto. It's brick, public housing that I grew up in. But the center where the office was, they had a community youth center thing. And for Halloween, they were having a little Halloween party, and we didn't really have a lot of money. So back then we would make our own costume. And I remember my mom being at work, and this little get together was during the daytime, after school, but before the end of the workday. And I was gonna be a chola. So I took a bandana and I had it on my head. I wore a big oversized t-shirt, and I had these big 90s wide leg pants that all the kids are wearing now, and my Fila sneakers. And I took brown lip liner from my mother and I put that on, and I had a very cheap I think it was NYC little lipstick. It was the black, twist up with a clear top. It was so cheap. It was cracked and ugly, but it was that purple iridescent thing. and putting that over the brown lip liner and then going to the community center. And let me tell you, I got in trouble because I was not allowed to wear makeup. And another mother from the neighborhood saw me and she called my mom at work and was like, "Your daughter is wearing lipstick." And when my mom got home, oh, she was not having it. She was not having it. But that was the first makeup I remember applying for myself. Number 3, who was the first makeup YouTuber you remember watching? Now, I'm a little bit older to be like watching a lot of YouTube, but I had a friend who was really into makeup, like way more than me. Once I started having kids, my love for makeup kind of dwindled for a bit. And I had this friend, Carla. She did my makeup for my son's baby shower. Shout out to Carla. She made me look so beautiful. And she had like all this makeup from BH Cosmetics and like these little eyeshadow palettes with these tiny little pans. But she had the Carly Bible palettes. And she was like, "Girl, you need to watch her." And I wasn't instantly hooked to Carly Bible, but I did. She was like probably the first YouTuber that I started watching because my friend recommended her. And I was like, "Oh, I need to get up on this. I need to like up my game because I'm starting to look like a bummy ass mom." So yes, that was the first YouTuber that I remember watching. So the 5th question is, who was your first true makeup muse, current muse? And I think when this question was presented, I think they're talking about like YouTube, right? If I talk about like real life, of course, my mother was my first muse for like makeup. But for YouTube, I want to say that it was probably Tati Westbrook. And back then her channel was like Glam Guru or something like that. And even though I didn't feel like her makeup aesthetic was my makeup aesthetic, I really trusted everything she said. And I really wanted to emulate like her technique. Her technique was something that I always thought was the next level. If you were like really good at makeup, this was the next level technique that you needed to use. Like now everybody's doing the TikTok hacks and like they look for the hacks to be like the next level. I felt like the techniques that Tati was showing were like that next level. Now I feel like the person who inspires me the most is Angelica Nevequist, and she's inspired me for a really long time. She's the one who inspired me to start YouTube because I felt like I wanted to do what she was doing, and she does amazing looks, and she's bold. She's bold, and that reminds me of my mom, like just being themselves, like putting on makeup and not caring what other people thinks and feeling fierce. Like when she's doing a video and she does her little look and she's like looking in the camera and she's like feeling herself. Like I'm like, damn bitch, I want to feel like that too. I don't have the I don't know, there's something about myself to do that. I feel like kind of silly, but like that's inspirational because I feel like we all need to have a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Like we need to like feel like that about ourselves a little bit more. So yes, definitely her. Number 5 was, what was your first high-end makeup that you bought? And my first high-end makeup that I ever bought was MAC. And that was mostly because when I first started wearing makeup, it was the probably the late 90s, early 2000s. So MAC was really kind of like the big hitter then, like the big trends. Like everybody was doing all these collabs with MAC. Like I remember Pamela Anderson, like going in and seeing her little demo thing, and like they would have the diagrams of the face and tell you which shadows they used where. And I specifically remember coppering and antiqued those shadows. And I still have them somewhere. I don't use them, but I still have them. Yeah, like I just remember going to the MAC counter, and I don't know necessarily if it was an eyeshadow that I first bought from them or if it was a blush, because that was really all I wore. I didn't know anything about foundation back then. I just wore eyeshadow and blush and mascara and eyeliner and lipstick. Everything but the base. But like most of my stuff was like drugstore, except for the eyeshadow and the blush. Those were things that I would really only buy from the MAC counter at Macy's. I remember getting my bus pass, getting on the bus, going to the mall, hitting up Macy's, and going to the MAC counter. The sixth question was, what was the first makeup you purchased that you waited for and bought the second it released? And I honestly don't know. I've been like going through my head, and it was either the Hourglass Unlocked palette from 2020 or 2019. I feel like that must have been it, because before that, either that or Patrick Ta blush duos, the cream blush duos, those were the two things that I was like, I'm not sure which one I bought the second it came released. Because to be honest, in the beginning, even when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't always buy things as soon as it was released, because I was watching YouTube and waiting for people to do their reviews so that I can kind of get an idea of what the hell I wanted to buy and spend my money on, because I didn't feel confident enough to go buy everything. So yeah, like for the longest time, I wasn't doing that. I want to say it was either one of the Hourglass Unlocked palettes or it was the Patrick Ta blush duos. And either one, I think, were good options regardless. Number 7, what was the first time you had your makeup done by someone else and did you like it? And initially, when I heard this question, I thought, oh, when Carla did my makeup for my baby shower. But then I was like thinking back and I'm like, no, my mom did my makeup when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. If I can find the photo, I will put it up here. For picture day, she didn't do like eyeshadow or anything. She literally just put foundation on my face. But I remember it because I had chicken pox. This was back in the day when people got chicken pox, because my kids are all vaccinated for that. So like my kids have no clue that you could get chicken pox. But when I was a kid and you had chicken pox, they didn't even parents were like having parties so that everybody's kids could get chicken pox so they could get it done and over with. So I had chicken pox and my mom and it was picture day. Like I had chicken pox and she sent me to school. She did not try to hide it, but it was picture day and she did not want me to miss picture day. So she put foundation on my face and sent me to school to take my photo with chicken pox. That was the first time makeup was applied to me. And I will say, I liked it. I was a little grumpy about it because I really just wanted to stay home and be sick. But I did feel pretty when my mom put the foundation on me. I felt like, oh, my mom's doing me up and I feel like a big girl. So yeah, that was cute. Okay, number 8. What's the makeup product that you own that should be the first one thrown out in the declutter, but you can't? I'm going to grab it. It is the MAC Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush in Sunbask. And this is the original one that I got. I don't think they have this packaging anymore. I think you can still get it. And I've been tempted to pick it up, but I feel like I don't know. It's still good. Is it really? It's probably not. I think I bought this in the year 2003. No, maybe 2002. I don't know. It's really, really old. And I think it still looks good. I'm not going to lie. I've worn this. I've worn this recently. And it doesn't smell funny and it doesn't act weird. And I still think it looks really nice. And I haven't broken out because of it. So I know, ring the shame bell. I mean, I should be punished for that, but I'm not gonna throw it away. I love this blush. All right, and number 9, I feel this is the last question that I have written down, and I don't know if there was a 10th question, but we're just gonna leave this as the last one. So this one says, what is the first thing that someone should know about makeup? And I think everyone should know that makeup is about being who you really are, bringing out who you feel you are on the inside. Because I feel like sometimes, especially nowadays, we're all tired, we're all grumpy because we don't love maybe necessarily this or that about ourselves. And makeup isn't about making yourself look beautiful always. Sometimes it's just about like creating a character for the day so you can survive. So you can um be more energetic. I think makeup is supposed to be fun, and makeup is supposed to make you feel like yourself in a way that sometimes you don't feel like yourself when you don't have makeup on. And you shouldn't have to be scared of it. It shouldn't be intimidating. It should be just another form of self expression. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. And until next time, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Love you guys. Bye.